the course of the 4 years of the American Civil War, there would be a lot of changes that would occur. And I think the most dramatic changes would have occurred in the spring and summer of 1862, which is just after the 1 year mark of the American Civil War. So we will begin this class, which is called Civil War Shifting Tides Strategy Changes in 1862 in Central Virginia, by first examining the initial strategies of both sides to give some context. And then we will delve into those changes and the battles associated with them. So, for our first program, one of the things we will be touching upon is Confederate General Thomas Jonathan Stonewall Jackson. And what we will see is that that phase of the war, there was still some question as to what his capabilities were. He would eventually command half the Confederate Army, but as we'll see, there were some doubts about just how many troops Jackson could command, and the Battle of Cedar Mountain that we will be discussing in our first talk would end up being a very critical battle for his career. In our second talk, we will take a look at the Battle of Fredericksburg, which was the most lopsided Union defeat of the war, and we will see some of the reasons why. And then in our third program, we will see how the Union Army reacted to this humiliating defeat of the Battle of Fredericksburg, and how Union General Joseph Hooker, a new Army commander, would make some massive changes in the Army, and how that period would be considered by many to be the equivalent of during the Revolutionary War, the winter at Valley Forge, where again big improvements were made in the Revolutionary War Army. Our fourth talk is going to be delving into one of the specific changes made by Joseph Hooker. That's in the Federal Cavalry, as we'll discuss some key early cavalry battles in 1863. And then for our last talk, we will kind of shift gears a little bit and take a close look at some of the personal transitions that Jackson and his staff would make over the winter following the Battle of Fredericksburg.